I just haven't been in the situation. I haven't been in the place where I feel like I can really go out and do everything that I'm capable of doing. I don't get 20 targets like some other receivers.
So is it the offense? Is it the scheme? When you talk about you're not put in a
everything
situation?
at the moment, it's just everything. It's just everything. And not to say that it's not going to work, but at the moment, I feel like I work entirely way too hard.
Hey, what's going on? This is Dick and Chubbs podcast, Shipwrecked. And, me and Joe decided to make a change. We got tired of the Giants because they do the same thing every single week. So we decided that we're going to talk about all sports because there's other things in the world besides the Giants, and they suck.
Yep.
So, Joe, I think we should jump right in.
Yep. So we got Week 7 of the NFL. We're going to do a little recap. Start off with a Thursday night game, which was an absolute slaughter for the Cardinals. They just looked torn. They looked beaten.
How do you put Josh Rosen in that? How do you not pull Josh Rosen from that game?
The thing is, they're making Rosen look really bad. And he did have a bad game against a great Broncos defense.
Well, you remember that game? You remember that game where they put him in with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter? They took out Bradford.
Yes.
And they expected him to go down and get the winning drive, and he threw 2 or 3 interceptions.
Yeah, they're struggling.
This is a perfect example of how you ruin a rookie's confidence.
Yep.
Josh Rosen is going down the drain.
Yep, and Von Miller came out and said Tuesday night that they were going to absolutely murder Arizona, and, 45-10.
He probably walked off that field like told you.
Yeah, Nick Chubb, 4th overall pick, had a great game. He had 4 sacks. That was pretty much expected out of him. He has 6 sacks on the year. He's having a pretty good rookie year.
I don't know why, but for the longest time, I thought he was on the Browns.
Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
Oh, Bradley Chubb.
Bradley Chubb.
Yeah,
it's Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, that was
you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Yeah, it is. But, yeah, Bradley Chubb, 6 sacks on the year. He's having a pretty good rookie year.
Yeah, that was
expected. He was the best defensive end out of the draft.
That was your Thursday night game, and then on Sunday you had Titans-Chargers at 9 in the morning.
London.
London game. That was actually a pretty good game.
Lived up to the hype.
But whoever the Titans coach is, I don't even know his name.
He
is a moron.
We're just gonna call him moron.
They had a second chance, and he still blew it.
Yeah, on a 2-point conversion. They scored.
They scored one for the 2-point conversion.
Yes.
And they failed.
An extra point ties the game.
They failed the first time. Exactly. They failed the first time, but they got a defensive holding call.
Yep.
Went for it again, and they lost because they're idiots.
20-19.
They should have just went for overtime.
If that's me, I'm kicking.
I probably would have won in fantasy this week because Keenan Allen would have had more time on the field.
Yes. 20-19. You kicked that field goal. There was 30 seconds left with 1 Chargers timeout. I believe you're going into overtime. The Titans defense has been playing exceptionally well. I believe you kicked that field goal, you're headed right into overtime.
Idiots.
Yep.
And then you had Bucks-Browns, and Browns just can't catch a break.
They can't find a way to win.
Mm-mm.
And I mean, it's been bad for the Giants, but the Browns, they've played in 4 or 5 overtime games this year. That resulted in losses. It
definitely hasn't been that many.
It has.
It has not been that many.
They've played that. I'm telling you, they've played that many.
I think
they've tied for 1. They tied. They played the Ravens in overtime. They played the Buccaneers in overtime, and I'm pretty sure they had another game.
Didn't they play the Raiders in overtime?
Yes, and the Raiders. Yeah, there you go. There's your 4 games.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, 26-23, and it was on a 58-yarder. From the Buccaneers kicker.
I mean, we lost on a 63-yarder.
Yeah. I mean, kickers have been bad, and they've been really good.
Yeah.
When it comes down to the wire. So
Panthers beat the Eagles, which was awesome.
In the game of the week, so to say. Panthers were down 17-0 at one point in the third quarter, and Cam Newton turned on the...
They came roaring back.
The MVP...
Pun not intended.
Yes. he just turned on the MVP switch. He completely just started to figure out the defense, hang in the pocket, run. He started to tear the Eagles' defense up, and they had no answer.
Oh man, they slaughtered the Eagles at the end.
They came back.
That last quarter and a half. Cam Newton said nah.
Yep,
which was great.
They came back, which was the largest comeback win in Panthers history. Franchise history. They won 21-17. The Eagles seem to be in a Super Bowl slump.
Yeah, they fell to 3-4.
Yep, and they have blown leads at home against the Panthers and in Tennessee. Both late game winning drives. Just completely. I don't know. I'm not feeling this Philly vibe right now.
I mean, I never did. I hate Philly. You know that.
But they do not look like a Super Bowl champion team.
No, they're playing really poor.
The hangover, so to say.
Vikings Jets. The Vikings absolutely destroyed the Jets. The Jets never really had a chance to begin with.
Adam Thielen, 7 consecutive games to start a season with 100+ yards. If you have him on fantasy, you are probably winning your money. And he's just been a force to be reckoned with. And that brings me to ask this question: are you going to start putting him in the receiver talk, as in he is an elite receiver in the NFL? Adam Thielen, do you think?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Why would you not put a guy who consistently gets 100 yards per game and probably a touchdown per game? You know, the combo of him, Stephon Diggs, and Kyle Rudolph is a very dangerous combo.
With Kirk Cousins.
He is a guy that can get the ball short and take it 50 yards, or he's also a deep threat. So I'm not going to say he's the best wide receiver in the league, but he's definitely top 10, top 5.
Oh, yeah. He's having an excellent season. The Vikings defeated the Jets in MetLife 37-17. The Jets were close at one point and then just completely...
Yeah, Jets suck.
Lost it. Sam Darnold doesn't look too bad, but I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what happened. It's like you change the channel, you come back, and they're down 10.
No, that's just the Jets. That's just who the Jets are. Bunch of losers.
Yeah.
I mean, the Giants are too, but...
Yeah, we don't have any room to talk.
Jets suck.
Yeah.
Lions-Dolphins. Lions stepped on the Dolphins. Brock Osweiler is as crappy as we thought to begin with.
Brocktober. I mean, this was a surprise to some people, and it didn't shock me. I knew the Lions were going to come out and win. A lot of analysts had the Dolphins winning. I just can't see it. Stafford's hot, and when Stafford gets hot, people call him overrated. I don't think so.
Plus, I don't trust Brock Osweiler.
Yes, he never really had a defense.
Also,
Brocktober
when
is
you
just...
think about it, Brock Osweiler screwed himself so bad by being petty and leaving Denver. Because, the Super Bowl year that they won with Peyton, they gave Peyton the team back, and when they made the playoffs and sat Brock, which, who wouldn't have done that? Who wouldn't have sat Brock Osweiler for Peyton Manning? But then he was being a dick and left. He's like, all right, well, you're going to bench me. I'm going to leave. Now his career since then has been complete crap. Mm. I think if he stayed in Denver, I think he would still be the starting quarterback right now.
Yeah. Even though Case Keenum's there, but just not really seeming to click. Although they're 3-4.
Case Keenum was a product of his environment.
Yeah,
he was a product of Mike Zimmer, Pat Shurmur, Stephon Diggs, and Adam Thielen. That's what Case Keenum was a product of.
They do have a good offense in Minnesota.
He was nothing more than a product of his environment and what he had around him. And that's it. Pats Bears was a very good game.
Yes, right down to the wire.
That came right down to the wire.
With 50-yard bomb, 38-31, 3 seconds left. Trubisky heaves it up, and Kevin White's there, catches it at the 2-yard line, stretches, gets gang tackled. Short. He's down at about the centimeter-yard line. He is inches. Football is a game of inches. He was inches away, and there goes your win.
Did you just quote Any Given Sunday?
When did I say that?
Oh, no, it's yards. Football's a game of yards.
Yeah. Football's a game
of inches.
So,
it's a guy who's willing to die for that inch. That's good. I think it's Any Given Sunday.
He was literally inches away. inches away from tying the game and heading into overtime. Inches away. Tom Brady completely just.
After
lights it
watching
up.
this game, I think the Bears are legit. I think the Bears are very good. I think the Bears are definitely going to make the playoffs. They're probably going to get the wild card. And I think their future looks even brighter.
Do you know?
I think the Bears
I agree with
in
you.
2 years are going to be in a Super Bowl game.
The Bears, 3-3. They are three. They should be 6-0. Really, they were 3 games away from being 6-0. And I'm gonna give you the 3 occasions. 3 occasions. You have the missed kick in Miami, which is one of the games.
Yep.
You have the dropped pick by was it Amukamara, week 1, when Aaron Rodgers came back, and then you have this game where he's inches away. They're coming down to the wire, but they just can't seem to finish.
No, they're going to be good. And you think about it, they don't need much. You know, what do they need? A corner, and that's about it. They have a good line. They have 2 great running backs. They have a very good tight end. They have good wide receivers. They have a quarterback who's actually proving that he can do it.
On a rookie deal. Yep.
They have a very good D-line. They have a pretty good linebacking core, and the only area I would say they need to is stack up as their secondary, and that's it.
Yep.
So, really, the Bears aren't far from being the best team, one of the best teams in the NFL.
Yep.
I'm not going to say the best team.
Especially the NFC North.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Packers better watch out because the Bears are coming.
Yep. The Bears.
The Bears. Also, the Packers look like they're heading downhill.
Yeah, they're
Why
was that even a game Monday night?
I think the Packers are peaking, and right now I think they're about to head down because take Aaron Rodgers off that team.
They're a 2-win team.
That team is horrible.
Yeah, 2-win team.
You take Aaron Rodgers away, and that football team is one of the worst football teams.
He sparks
it's the
the
LeBron
engine.
effect.
Yeah.
It's really the LeBron effect. They rely on one guy. They lean on one guy to get them there, and that's it. You know, he gets no help from his defense. He gets very little help from his receivers except for Devontae Adams, and that's really it. That team sucks. Bottom line, they suck.
Talking
without Aaron
about
Rodgers.
sucks. Was there even a game in Indianapolis this week? I mean, 37-5. The Bills
Someone forgot to tell the Bills to
are
go to
so bad,
Indy.
and I mean, they have found wins. But when they win, they win. But when they lose, they get blown out. I mean, it's not even... It's like... I feel bad for those fans. It's so inconsistent. And the Colts came out, and they just lit it up. Andrew Luck's having a great year. He had 4 touchdowns. He is second in the NFL in passing touchdowns with 20, behind no other than Patrick Mahomes with 22.
Showtime.
He's been lighting it up. But, I mean... I don't even think we need to talk about that game. It was so bad. They completely just devoured the Bears.
We should
Derek
just
Anderson
we should
is
just
not the solution.
skip over that. Wait, Derek Anderson is their quarterback?
Well, the Bills quarterback this week because
What happened to Rosen? Or Allen.
Allen got hurt on his elbow.
Whatever.
Sprained something in his elbow, and
I mean, it doesn't really matter. That
Peterman's
team.
not the solution either.
Well,
so they have a
Peterman's not the
quarterback problem.
solution for anybody.
Yep.
Then we had Jags-Texans,
And
which was a crappy game. Blake Bortles got pulled in the second half.
yes,
Blake Bortles got pulled in the second half. He was just atrocious. He
absolutely horrible. He had like
was so
61
bad.
yards passing, 2 fumbles lost in his own end zone. So the defense, in my opinion, they played really good. He turned over the ball 2 times in his own territory, which is going to allow points. They only allow 20 points, but the offense 7 points. I mean, they couldn't score.
I mean,
they're struggling without Fournette.
I've said this for years that Blake Bortles sucks. I mean, Blake Bortles really sucks.
Yeah,
All he does is hit his check down. He's kind of like Eli Manning this year.
And he's a play-action quarterback. But I really feel bad for the Jaguars because they signed Eric Flowers. And that's, I don't know what solution you were thinking,
he's
but
he's not
not
starting.
the answer.
I think it was just a depth signing.
But why even have him? It just doesn't look good.
I don't know. Usually with first round picks, they get another shot on a team after they get become a bust on their first team. Sometimes like that change of scenery, like Amari Cooper. There's a chance that Amari Cooper could go back to his rookie year self with a change of scenery and a new quarterback. So you never really know. But Eric Flowers is garbage.
Key number 222. Do you want to guess what that is?
The amount of games that Eric Flowers sucked in?
No.
Oh.
The amount of extra points Justin Tucker has made until Sunday. 222 for 222. And 24-17, the Ravens drive down the field, punch it in. There is a minute left. You're expecting, this is the best kicker of all time.
Holy cow, I'm on the edge of my seat. Keep going.
The extra point, I don't know if it was the win or the angle, I don't know. It looked like the win. Just completely hits the upright. Justin Tucker's face was shocked.
I was just gonna say, did you see his face?
His face, he looked like he's seen a ghost.
Yeah, he had the look of fear and terror on his face. I mean, they weren't gonna cut him, and it wasn't like he missed a field goal.
But he knew
in the playoffs, like Billy Cundiff.
He knew it was a very important game to this team. They wanted to win. I mean, instead of going 5-2, now you're 4-3, and now you're not the first place in your division. The Steelers are, without Le'Veon Bell, which is quite an accomplishment. But 24-23 was the final in Baltimore.
Congrats to Drew Brees, who threw his 500th touchdown.
I mean, he's just...
I told you, I said in another podcast, at the end of the day, Drew Brees was going to be the GOAT. He's only 5 touchdowns behind Tom Brady, and he is significantly, or not significantly, but he's like 5 years younger than Brady.
Yeah.
So, Drew Brees for GOAT.
Then we have a game in Washington.
Back to the NFC East.
Which was an excellent game. 20-10 until the Cowboys started to have the giant effect and play at the end of the game.
Yep.
And
that's what the Giants do.
They march down the field, score. Redskins throw the ball on third down. Leaves the Cowboys with 1 timeout. About 45 seconds, they march down the field. Get in field goal range. You're thinking this is a good kicker. Cut Dan Bailey. And they call a snap infraction. So now it turns a kick from 47 yards to 52 when it should have been 42 because the guy jumped off sides. So, snap infraction, you move back 5 yards. They ice the kicker.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know that was a penalty.
And he shanked it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, snap infraction. It's like when you lift the ball. He lifted the ball.
You know,
it looked like
Dan
a snap
Bailey.
pretty much.
Dan Bailey was sitting. Actually, Dan Bailey was in New York. Dan Bailey was sitting in New York in the Jets away locker room, laughing his ass off.
Laughing.
He said, "Screw you, Jerry Jones. Screw you."
There was a game in Santa Clara that the Rams just continue to look like the number 1 team in the NFL. They go to 7-0.
Did you say Santa Clara?
Yeah.
Is that where the Niners Stadium is?
They play in Santa Clara.
I'm going to be honest, I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, I would know, but they play in Santa Clara. I don't agree with that, but they do.
I don't know. I mean, the Giants and Jets play in Jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
Completely different state.
Yeah. But 39-10, the Rams just continue to prove everybody why they are the number 1 team. Aaron Donald, 4 sacks. And you're talking about from a D tackle. You're not talking about from a defensive end. Aaron Donald is shown why he's one of the highest paid players in the NFL, behind Khalil Mack and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's proven it. He's having an awesome season. He's in shape, and the Rams are 7-0. That's without Aqib Talib. I mean, they're just playing lights out. Todd Gurley has more touchdowns than most NFL teams. That is
probably has more than the Giants.
He does. He has more than the Cowboys, Redskins, Giants. That's probably the whole NFC East. He has more than a lot of teams.
Forgot the Eagles.
Yeah, he has more than a lot of teams. It's honestly it's insane to even think about.
Yeah. Then you got Showtime Mahomes making extremely quick work of the Bengals, and him and Kareem Hunt just went off that game.
1-2 punch.
They just went off. I mean, Kareem Hunt hurdled a guy with no momentum. He
broke 9 tackles.
He basically just stood there, waited for the guy to come in, and just jumped over him, which was incredible. And then
4 touchdowns. Again, 22 touchdowns on the season. He's leading the hunt for the MVP.
Talking about Showtime?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mahomes is
my man.
100%.
I have him in 3 different fantasy leagues.
Yes.
I got him late because people are stupid and don't know the magic of Showtime Mahomes. And then we have our disappointments, the New York Football Giants.
The Monday night primetime game where
Because the Giants just play so well in primetime.
they really don't. But
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, like we said, they don't play well in prime time. It's honestly hard to watch at this point, and we really try to fade away from this because they are the most boring team in the NFL. They do the same thing every week. I mean, honestly,
I feel like I'm watching Kevin Killdrive's offense again. I know I said this a few weeks ago, but watching it, I really
Shepard
feel
had 5 receptions, 167 yards. He had a really good game.
Eli
and
was
that's good for him.
27 for 38 with 399 and a touchdown. But he should have had 3 touchdowns because 3 times they were in the red zone and they didn't score.
Odell 8 for 143 and 1 touchdown. He finally showed up. It was a garbage touchdown and it was a garbage throw to Odell.
I mean, you
but again, he
can't
tiptoed in.
say he finally showed up.
I mean, yeah, you're right. But I mean, we've been saying like, where's Odell? You know, like we can't find the end zone.
Yeah, but like
But,
you know,
I mean-
Eli. I mean, granted. Also, Eli has been sucking, but like that first half, he got sacked 4 times. But the second half, he didn't get sacked once. The Lions stepped up in the second half. They really stepped up in the second half.
Let me
And
read you these
Eli-
stats.
Eli still couldn't get it done.
Does this sound like a bad game? 27 for 38, 399 and a touchdown. If I'm getting that out of my starting quarterback, that's good.
All right, but like if you watch the game, you know that
Yeah, exactly. He's missing
Eli could have
plays.
done more.
He's missing
Like you saw
plays.
that one play where they ran the slants, the out slants, and Odell was wide open.
Yeah,
and
on
Eli
the goal line, and just
once
completely
again forced it to the tight end.
It's just
Eli should have had 3 touchdowns.
And another thing, you bring up the blitzes.
He really should have had. Like
There was one coverage sack where there was nowhere to throw the ball. He stood in the pocket and got sacked. The other 3 times they literally blitzed, and he just sits there and he's watching the blitz. He's not watching upfield.
All right,
Beckham's
but, like,
open.
You should still be picking up the blitz as the O line. And also,
don't get me wrong. The O line's playing shitty, and so is Eli.
Saquon is awful at pass protection. He's really bad at pass protection.
you gotta learn that. But he's a rookie. That's something he'll come to.
I know, but he's gotta pick up on that because he is not a good pass protector.
Bad play calls. Media let Shermer know that he's not doing his job right when he went for 2.
I mean,
I agreed with it, but
I don't mind going for 2. All right, you're trying to win a football game, but when you're doing 2 back-to-back quarterback sneaks on the one and you can't get in,
that was bad.
All right. The first time I get it. All right, you tried it. Now give the ball to Saquon and let him pound it in.
That's exactly what they did. After the 3rd time, the Giants fall to the oh my God.
NFL's worst 1-6.
Yes, the Atlanta Falcons 23-20, 1-6. It is complete tank mode in New York.
They got rid of Eli Apple today for a 4th round in this year's draft and a 7th rounder in 2020 draft
to New Orleans,
which says to everyone, fire sale. The Giant. There's no
Tear
one.
it down.
There's like 6 people on the Giants that are safe. And I'm not counting Odell because
Literally.
they can't get rid of Odell.
Literally.
They
like 6
cannot
players.
get
A
rid of
handful
Odell.
of players.
So there's 6 people and Odell that they can't get rid of. Those 6, Evan Ingram, Saquon Barkley, Sterling Shepard, Landon Collins, Lorenzo Carter, and
I wouldn't even say Snacks because he's getting up there in age. His contract's big.
Snacks is on the table.
Yeah. I mean, that pretty much brings us to the trade deadline. We are a week away from the deadline.
This is going to be
Honestly,
interesting.
I heard reports where the Giants were going to clean house.
I kind of just said that.
Yeah. Listen, I'm all for it. Tear it down. That brings us to another thing. I mean, the Saints were in a market for a cornerback. They got Eli Apple. Not what they wanted, but I mean...
Their number one choice was Pat Pete, so... Is Pat Pete going to the Eagles?
There's a possibility.
Because the Giants are not in win now mode. The Giants are in win 3 years from now mode.
Literally. We are...
So, like... They're not going after Pat Pete, definitely. Even if they did trade Eli Apple. So they probably just opened up that corner spot for it to be Sam Beal next year.
Yeah.
I could see him going to the Eagles. I could see him going to... Could you see him going to the Rams?
I personally think he doesn't get traded.
You don't think they're going to trade him?
Yeah. I think offseason. I think the offseason he'll get
He
traded.
came in and demanded a trade.
Yeah, but they came out and said, we're not going to trade him. So I think in the offseason, he's like, listen, I want to win. I'm in win now mode. I'm not in rebuild mode, new quarterback mode. No.
How old is he?
He's 28. He's been in the league like 7 years.
For a corner, that's old.
Yeah, but it's Patrick Peterson. There's going to be teams that want him. Like the Patriots. The Patriots could use him. The Eagles. Super Bowl contending teams. But
Teams that are in win now mode.
Yeah.
The Bears.
Yeah, they could.
We said the Bears.
Yep.
Prince Amukamara and Pat Pete.
So we talked about the Eli Apple trade. Let's bring up Amari Cooper. Which
Amari Cooper, first round pick to the Cowboys.
Yes, I believe
he's not worth a first round pick.
Exactly. So I believe John Gruden finally won a trade, and now everybody's like, "Oh, John Gruden," because he had a bad start in Oakland. But I like that trade. The Cowboys part on it. I mean, they needed a wide receiver.
The Raiders 100% won that trade, but
a first round pick. I mean, I don't know. There's 200 yards this season.
Amari Cooper has to play like a top 10 pick. He's got to play because the Cowboys are going to have a top 10 pick this year probably. Yeah. He's got to play like a top 10
pick. Like a top receiver. Yeah. Because he's on contract year.
This is their first round pick of this year's draft.
He's on contract next year for $13 million. That means he's one of the top. Yes, he's one of the top paid wide receivers. He has to play like it. He hasn't played like it this year. 20 receptions, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He only has 20 receptions.
Yes, he has not had a good year. That's why Gruden's like, listen, if I'm getting a first round pick that right now it's a top 10 pick, you're going. Goodbye.
Yeah, Gruden.
They are tearing it down. They're in full rebuild mode.
I heard. He doesn't even want Derek Carr anymore.
I mean, if I'm the Giants, I'm all in.
No, I'm not.
You're not all in?
I'm not going for Derek Carr. Screw that.
We're going to disagree on something? That really happens.
Yeah. Why would you go for Derek Carr? All right, look at what he's shown you in Oakland. All right, did you see that I mean,
honestly, they're a shitty team.
Crying?
No, he said that was false.
Yeah, whatever. He was crying.
But I mean, they're a shitty team. They're in rebuild mode.
I would not.
He can sit in the quarterback. He can deliver the ball.
I would not go for Derek Carr because the Giants need a young quarterback.
Yeah, to save money.
They save money, but they also have an extremely young team, and they need a young quarterback to go with that.
Yep.
Like you can't have an old, not old, but you can't have a guy like Derek Carr and coming in, his relationship with his teammates, reports say, is fractured. And the Giants' locker room is already like hanging on by a thread. Do you really want a guy that wasn't respected in another locker room coming into your locker room?
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
shoot, I think I deleted it. Dang it.
Could say that.
Oh no, I didn't. Here we go.
Giants are in the market for a quarterback, so
I wanna read something that a fan sent me about the Giants.
Yeah.
If that's okay.
Yep. Yeah.
So this is from BGR. He said, not sure if you guys are open to listener comments, but here's my take on the quarterback talk. In the league, I thought the Giants should have at least tried for Teddy Bridgewater or A.J. McCarron. 100% agree on Teddy Bridgewater.
Agreed.
Teddy Bridgewater is still a good quarterback. I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to do great down in New Orleans. And if the Giants could somehow swing in and take Teddy Bridgewater for like a 4th round pick, would not be mad at all. I like the college quarterback class coming in 2020. It's both quarterbacks from last year's title game, Jake Fromm and the Hawaiian dude. By the way, Hawaiian. I just call him Tua.
Tua.
I just call him Tua.
Yep.
I was going to make that point about the 2020 quarterbacks. Really, all the Giants need is a bridge quarterback. Jacoby Brissett to come in for a year and a half. And then in 2020, we draft a quarterback. He sits behind Brissett for 5 games.
Because they said our guy, Justin Herbert, might not even declare for the draft this year.
No, he's already not. He's already going back to Oregon.
Yeah, so...
But, if Herbert doesn't come out this year, then I don't want Herbert next year. If we got Fromm and Tua in the draft, what are we going to take Herbert for? I would rather have Fromm or Tua.
Tua's laying it up.
Tua's nasty. He said, I love Fromm, and he could be a stud. My way too early draft opinion is that the Giants trade back with a team that's even worse than them. The way the Giants have their own pick still in the top 10, and then hopefully the shitty team they traded with will be shitty again, and we'll have close to a number 1 pick in 2020.
I could agree
also
on that.
Agree with that.
Yeah. That's kind of like what
this year's draft
like
is
the Browns.
deep.
No, like the Colts did with the Jets this year. Moved back what was it? 2 picks because they knew they weren't in the quarterback conversation.
Yeah,
and they got their lineman.
Let me finish this and we'll talk. He said this year's draft is deep at D-line, so they can still get a good one if they drop. Hopefully a good O-lineman in rounds 2 through 4. There's a stud in Washington that had season-ending surgery, so his stock could fall. That way the Giants can have another year to shore up the O-line and the D so this young quarterback doesn't get fucked like Eli.
That's a bleep.
For now, I might not bleep it. For now, I think they throw Lauletta in there to see what's up and cut Eli like you guys said.
Yes.
If he's a stud, then ignore everything I said. But if he's trash, then I think that's a strategy.
Well, I agree 100% with BGR. You're the MVP, but listen, you don't cut Eli right now. You cut him in the offseason.
No, you don't cut him
because then
mid-season.
You save $22 million and take no cap hit.
Plus, if we're going to get rid of Eli Manning, let's let him finish out the season. The season's already going nowhere.
You gotta put in Lauletta.
We're not.
You're gonna have the same mistake.
You
don't want the same mistake.
Put in Lauletta, it's not gonna be until week 14 or 15.
Listen, you don't want the same mistake you made with Davis Webb.
Shermer is going to give Lauletta as much time to prepare and learn as he can before he sticks him out on the field because you don't want a Josh Rosen situation.
So is that true? So is that why he's inactive? He's like learning pretty much.
I don't know why he's inactive. Maybe they just need the roster spot.
Questions, John Mara. Questions. He's getting on my nerves too. Everybody is.
He's not even making that decision. It's all Gettleman and Shermer.
I don't like Mara.
I'm telling you. All right, first of all, if we're going to talk about John Mara, I lost so much respect for John Mara last year after the whole Eli Manning and Geno Smith situation. I lost so much. But the day before, I liked John Mara. I had respect for John Mara. The day after, I lost so much respect for John Mara, and to this day, I still have very little respect for John Mara. I think John Mara is spineless. There, said it.
Well, I like the NFL talk, but we have a big game tonight, and it ain't football.
It's baseball.
World Series.
Game 1.
We have 2 of the biggest markets in the world, Los Angeles,
Boston. You say Boston is one of the biggest markets in the world?
Yes.
All right, I just hate Boston.
Well, yeah, that's coming from a Yankee fan, but 2 of the biggest Bostons. You made me fuck up now.
2 of the biggest Bostons.
2 of the biggest markets in the world. Los Angeles and Boston going at it. The Red Sox.
Chris Sale, Clayton Kershaw.
Game 1. This is big.
Game 1.
This is huge.
This is a big game.
The Red Sox are open up as minus 135 favorites. So, Vegas has.
I'm telling you right now,
the Red Sox winning.
This game is going to be a gentleman's sweep. LA will win 1 game, and Boston is going to crush them in every other game.
So you think 4-1?
I think I think it's going to be 5 games, 4-1, favor of Boston. Unfortunately, that's coming from a Yankees fan.
I'm gonna have to go 6 games, 4-2 Boston. I think
This
Boston
game is not going 6 games, and I'll tell you why. Any team
Tell me, Dick.
that won the AL, whether it be the Yankees, the Sox, the Astros, or the Indians, any one of those 4 teams would have beaten anyone in the NL. If the Yankees were in the NL, this game would be a Yankees-Red Sox World Series.
I said that. I said whoever...
The drop-off, the level of talent and the drop-off of competition in the NL is amazing compared to the AL. Because they're just not as good as any team in the AL.
I said it. I said whoever won the pennant between...
Best, exactly. Whoever won the AL pennant was winning the World Series.
Yes, exactly.
The AL championship was... The ALCS was the real World Series.
Pretty much.
And Boston crushed Houston.
Yeah. That was a big defeat in Houston.
Crap, I really forgot what I was going to say, but I was like in mid-rant mode, and then you just messed me up.
So I fucked you up.
I don't know. The NL sucks, bottom line.
Yeah.
NL, you suck.
So we both agreed that Boston's going to win it. That brings us to LA. There was a controversial play. It looked like
Manny Machado
didn't hustle down the line. The ball got thrown at first base, and he just completely stepped on the first baseman's leg.
That was dirty.
That brings me to it. Is he a dirty player?
That was dirty.
This is not the first time he's done it either.
That was dirty, but I'm actually a Manny Machado fan. I don't think he's a dirty player. I think he's a good baseball player, but I will admit that play was dirty. Like that's something. I think he's a dirty player. That can't happen.
Don't get me wrong. That's not going to stop teams from going out and bidding on him in free agency. I mean, the guy's a great player. He's going to find a big contract, whether it's in LA or whether it's in
he's a great
somewhere.
He's a great home run hitter. He can also hit contact. Manny Machado is top 5 hitters. Yeah, let's go top 10.
Yeah,
top 10 hitter in the MLB. I was going to say top 5, but then I was rifling off all the hitters.
Yeah, and
literally,
Aaron Judge. Yeah,
two out
Stanton,
of the top 5 are also on the Red Sox, which I don't want to talk about.
And the Yankees.
Who on the Yankees can you say is a top 5 hitter? Aaron Judge when he's healthy.
Aaron Judge and Stanton?
All right, but I'll give you Stanton. But, like, they both didn't have years that everyone was expecting. They hit home runs.
Well, I mean, Judge was out, 50 games?
I'm talking
40, 50 games?
I don't know. He was out, like, 3 months. But,
probably
like,
more.
I'm not going to say that the Yankees had a top 5 hitter this year. Top 10, definitely. But when you have guys like Manny Machado,
Mookie Betts and
Christian
JD
Yelich,
just lit it up this year.
Oh, then you have JD Martinez, Mookie Betts,
God.
Xander Bogaerts.
Oh, jeez.
Jackie
Bradley Jr. is having himself.
Machado, and you have JBJ, too.
Such a postseason. I mean, the Grand Slam, he's been the fire underneath this Boston offense
Red Sox
right now
have
in the
just
postseason.
been unstoppable. The only team that had a chance to stop the Red Sox were the Yankees.
And they came awfully close?
No, they didn't. Well, they won. They took that one game in Boston, and then they're just like, "Oh, we're gonna stop playing baseball now."
Yeah, well,
and stop
that
playing.
16-1 game was just horrible.
Stop playing baseball.
Yeah, that 16-1
2 days in a row.
Was horrible.
Yeah, it was awful. Worst loss in franchise history. I know nobody did, but I really hope someone like Steinbrenner or Cashman or even Boone, even though we all know Boone didn't do it, but I hope someone went down there and yelled at them and called them bitches for that because they really deserve that. They just played horrible. At home, too. Yeah, at home. Everyone said Boston's not taking one from the Yankees in the Bronx. And they came home and they beat us 2 games. They're like by a combined like 20-1 and 20-4.
20-4.
I think it was 20-4.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Really?
It was horrible.
Really?
It was not good.
The Yankees were the only team that had a shot to beat the Red Sox. And, they didn't. Yeah. So, Red Sox winning the World Series, gentleman's sweep, 5 games. They're going to win. How does baseball? I think baseball does it 2, 3, and 2.
I believe so.
So, first 2 are going to go to Boston. Game 1 in LA is going to go to LA. And then the next two, Boston's going to win. Boston wins it in LA.
All right, we have 1 minute remaining. Let's get into some college football for that 1 minute.
All right, real quick.
Is Michigan the real deal?
Yes. I think Michigan is good. I think Michigan is... where's that game? Is that game...
in Ann Arbor. Yeah, in Ann Arbor.
Michigan, Ohio
Yes.
State. It's in
No,
Ann Arbor.
no. In Ohio State. I thought you meant the Penn State.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Yeah, it's in
State's
Ohio
out.
State.
Penn
It's in
State's out.
Yeah,
Penn
it's in
State's not going to
Columbus.
playoffs. It's in Columbus. Ooh.
What about LSU?
It's in the horseshoe.
Yes.
That's tough. I still think Michigan can pull it out. I really like Michigan's defense with Chase Winovich and Rashawn Gary.
Oh,
That
deadly.
D line is deadly.
Deadly.
And
Both
I
top 5
hate
picks
Michigan.
in the NFL draft.
But
What about Ohio State? Overrated? Overrated? Get it?
yeah, I got it. It wasn't very funny, but I got it. Do I think Ohio State's overrated? No.
I just think they suffered a bad loss.
I just think they just had a bad day.
Bad day.
I don't think Ohio State is overrated.
Woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Yeah, they just had a bad day.
What about LSU? Do they defeat number 1 Alabama in Baton Rouge? College game
All
day.
right, so I actually am going to go with yes because of this. Have you looked at Alabama's schedule? They are still Alabama. I am not going to deny
But they
the
have not
fact
had a strength of
they are
schedule that
Alabama.
is
They
strong.
have not
at all.
played a competitive game yet this year. They haven't been down and out. They haven't been in a situation where it's not looking good for them. They're in Baton Rouge. I think LSU is coming away.
Yep.
I think LSU is coming
gonna
away
agree.
with the win because Edo really knows how to pepper the gumbo. I don't know. I like listening to Edo talk, and I was just watching The Blind Side, and he said that, and I've really just been wanting to use that analogy all day.
All right.
Really
Your
knows
4
how to
teams
pepper
that
the
make the
gumbo.
college football playoff.
Bama,
Go ahead.
because they're Alabama. Michigan,
Yep.
Notre Dame,
Yep.
Texas has potential to sneak in there. Even
I
though they
have-
all right. So they suffered a bad loss to Maryland, but I still believe Texas can get in.
I'm going to have to go with Alabama, Clemson.
Oh no, I lied. I forgot about Clemson. Take Texas out, Clemson. I tried to go dark horse team, but I forgot
go
Clemson
with-
was still a team.
Alabama, Clemson, Michigan, Notre Dame. Notre Dame is going to finish in because they've had 4 top 25 wins on top of their strength of schedule to
So,
rule out the
all right.
years just in favor of them. So
Let me leave everybody with this question. All right. And we're going to talk about it, but we're not going to answer it. Can UCF get in the playoffs? UCF
Negative.
currently.
No,
hang on.
no,
hang on.
no,
hang on.
no.
Joseph. We're in week, 8 of the NCAA season out of 12?
I want to say
13? I think it's like 12, 13.
9, but yeah.
All right. UCF currently sits undefeated at number 10. Is it possible for them between now and the end of the season with big rivalry games coming up and all that, is it possible for UCF to sneak up to the top 4?
Nope.
I will leave you all with that question. Can UCF somehow pull it out of their asses and sneak in? Comment on our Instagram page or DM us what you think about UCF making the playoffs.
That's how we're going to sign off.
We're going to see you guys next week.
From my baby's drugs to the project house. Oh man, life was so hard. From trying to make a move in a pissy hole. What you know about losing and ain't no draw. What your life to prove when a nigga on. And if his aim good, then you living gone. If his aim good, then you living gone. I'm like, oh my,